Your parents lied to you. Relax. They didn't mean any harm. They love you. But when it comes to money, their generation is an expert at creating anchors that will keep you broke until you read 70 today. We're talking about the biggest one of all, financing your own home. This single belief, this one unquestionable truth, is the financial ball and chain that prevents millions from ever achieving real wealth. It's time to break it. The subscribe button is right down there, but look, only click it if you accept the pact of not getting rich tomorrow. Here, we build wealth. We don't gamble. We play the long game, the smart game. If you're one of mine, if you understand that real financial freedom takes strategy and patience, hit that like button and prove to me in the comments that you have the stomach for the long game. Let me know you're here to build, not just to dream. The average person has a fetish for bricks. They're obsessed with the idea of owning a physical property. The most common argument you'll hear is, oh, but renting is throwing money away. Is it, though? You know, what's really throwing money away? Paying for 3 houses and living in only one. That's exactly what you do with a typical 30-year mortgage. When you finance a home for 3 decades, you don't own the house. You're just the bank's favorite tenant. You have a landlord, and that landlord is the financial institution that holds your mortgage. There's just one tiny difference. If the roof starts leaking or the foundation cracks, you're the one paying for it, not the bank. The bank takes all the profit and you take all the risk and all the maintenance headaches. Let's do some straight talk. Let's look at the actual numbers because math doesn't lie. Imagine a $400,000 house. You do the responsible thing and save up a 20% down payment. So that's $80,000 out of your pocket. You're financing $320,000 with current interest rates hovering around 7, 8, even 9%. Let's be conservative and say you get a 7% rate. Over 30 years, your monthly payment for principal and interest alone is over $2,100. Now, let's do the math. Over 360 payments, you will have paid the bank over $766,000 for that $320,000 loan. Add your $80,000 down payment, and your total cost for that $400,000 house is almost $850,000. You've paid for the house more than twice over, but wait, the defenders of debt will shout, oh, but the house appreciated. Appreciated what? What? Let's be generous and say your $400,000 house doubles in value over those 30 years, which is not guaranteed. It's now worth $800,000. Congratulations. Your total cost was $850,000. You were still $50,000 in the hole compared to what you paid. You didn't make an investment. You just single-handedly funded your bank manager's retirement plan, their kids' college education, and their annual vacation to the Bahamas. You worked for 30 years to make the bank richer, not yourself. And this doesn't even account for property taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, and HOA fees, which can easily add another $1,000 or more to your monthly expenses. When you factor those in, the financial picture becomes a complete nightmare. You're not building equity. You're building a monument to the bank's profit margins. So what's the alternative? This is where we flip the script. Renting isn't a cost. It's arbitrage. It's a strategic financial move. Let's go back to our example. The mortgage payment was over $2,100 plus another $1,000 for taxes, insurance, and maintenance. So your total monthly housing cost as an owner is around $3,100. What if you could rent a similar or even better place for, say, $2,000 a month? Now you have a difference, a gap of $1,100 every single month. Instead of giving that extra money to the bank, you invest it. You put that $1,100 a month into a simple low-cost index fund that historically averages around 8 to 10% return per year. What happens? Let's be conservative and use an 8% return in just 15 years, halfway through the mortgage timeline. You would have over $378,000 in your investment account. You could literally buy a house of similar value in cash, or at least have a massive down payment that slashes your loan term and interest paid. And what if you continued for the full 30 years? That $1,100 monthly investment would grow to over $1.6 million. You could buy the house, the neighbor's house, and the house across the street, all in cash. Plus, renting gives you the ultimate superpower, flexibility. If your neighbor decides to start a heavy metal band that practices at 3 a.m., or if your street turns into a river every time it rains, what do? You pack your bags and you leave at the end of your lease. You find a better place, a better neighborhood, a better life. But the homeowner, you're stuck. You're chained to that property for 360 months, praying the market goes up so you can maybe, just maybe, sell without losing your shirt. Your dream just became a nightmare you can't wake up from. So is there a right time to buy a house? Absolutely. I'm not saying you should rent forever. The right time to buy is when you have the cash or at least a massive down payment, like 50% or more. So when your life is stable, you have a secure job, you want to live in that city for the long term, and your family situation is settled. And most importantly, the right time is when you have to sell your soul to the financial system for 3 decades. Buying a home should be a choice you make from a position of strength, not a desperate leap you take out of fear of throwing money away on rent before you reach that point of strength. You're just a minnow trying to look like a shark, using a property that isn't even yours to project a false sense of success. I can already feel the keyboards heating up. I know some of you are already typing, but rent goes up every year. In the comments, go ahead, vent, let it all out. It's a valid point, but it misses the bigger picture. Yes, rent increases, but so do your investment returns, which compound exponentially. So does the cost of homeownership property taxes go up, insurance premiums rise, and a new roof costs a lot more in 10 years than it does today. The math doesn't have feelings. It doesn't care about your dream of a white picket fence. It only cares about the numbers. If you want to remain a functional, financially free adult and not a slave to bills for the rest of your life, you need a plan that's based on reality, not on outdated advice from a different economic era. If you're ready to learn how to actually build wealth instead of just servicing debt, click the link in the description below and check out my method. We go deep into these strategies. For everyone who gets it, peace out. And I'll see you in the next video. And for those of you still determined to sign up for the next 360 or 420 months of payments, well, good luck. You're going to need it.